mistake to make, but it was on the counter with the other paperback books. And I assumed, of course, it was a detective story. All the others were detective stories. And I'd read all the others, so I bought this one without really looking at it carefully. You can imagine how mad I was to find it was Shakespeare. I don't see why they had to print Shakespeare plays in the same size and everything as the detective stories.
I think they make them with different coloured jackets.
Yeah, well, I didn't notice that. Anyway, I got real comfy in bed that night, all ready to read a good mystery story, and here I had the tragedy of Macbeth, a book for high school students, like Lord of the Flies.
Portrait of the Mockingbird.
Exactly. And I was just ready for a good Agatha Christie or something. Hercule Poirot is my favourite detective.
Is he the one with the deerstalker's hat?
Oh no, he's the Belgian one. You're thinking of somebody. Sherlock Holmes. He's good too. There's this one about a murder that turns out it's the family doctor, the one who does the autopsy.
Tell me, have you read Macbeth?
Had to read it. There wasn't a scrap of anything to read in the rest of the whole room.
Did you like it?
No, I did not. In the first place, I don't think for a moment Macbeth did it.
Did what?
I don't think for a moment that he killed the king. I don't think the Macbeth woman's mixed up in it either. You suspect them the most, of course, but they're the ones that are never guilty. Or should it be, anyway.
It's not like that. It's not a detective story.
It would spoil everything if you could figure out right away who did it. Shakespeare was far too smart for that. I read that people never have figured out Hamlet, so it doesn't seem likely that Shakespeare would make Macbeth as simple as it seems. These deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice cry, "Sleep no more." Macbeth doth burn sleep, the innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life. Saw nature's second breath. The ingredients of the chief ingredient of life's feast.
What do you mean?
Ah! Still methought I heard it cry, "Sleep no more." Plant hath murdered sleep. Therefore, Cawdor doth sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I hate to think what I have done. I dare not look upon it.
Infirm of purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears a painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem their guilt.
Whence is that knocking? Why is it that every noise appalls me? What hands are these? Lo, they pluck out mine eyes. Oh, would that Neptune's great sea would wash the blood from these hands, or this hand would take the multitudinous seas in Carnadine and turn the green ones red.
My hands are of your colour, but I shame to wear a heart so white. I hear a knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is then. Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark, more knocking. Get on your nightgowns. The occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know me is to know my deed. Wake Duncan with thy knocking. I would thou could.
Who do you suspect?
Macduff.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, Macduff did it all right. Hercule Poirot would have caught him easily.
How did you figure it out?
Well, I didn't right away. At first I suspected Banquo, and then of course he was the second person killed. That was good right in there, that part. The person you suspect of the first murder should always be the second victim.
Is that so?
Of course, standard Agatha.
But who did thee join with us?
Macbeth!
We need not mistrust. It is he that serves us out a work and what we must do for the purpose just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the later traveller apace to gain a timely in and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Ha! I hear horses.
Oh,
Give us a light there, ho!
and it is he, the rest that are in with him with their purpose are already within the court.
His horses go back.
Almost a mile, but he does usually. So all men do, from hence to the palace gate, make it their walk.
A light! A light!
'Tis he!
Stand to it.
'Twill be rain tonight.
Let it come down.
Treachery! Fly, good friends, fly! Thou must revenge us!
Oh yes, they have to keep surprising you. Well, after the second murder, I didn't know who the killer was for a while.
Yeah, but what about Malcolm and Donalbain, the King's sons? As I remember it, they fled right after the first murder, and that seems suspicious to me.
Too suspicious. Much too suspicious. When they flee, they're never guilty. You can count on that.
I think I need a strong drink.
Do you know who found Duncan's body?
I'm sorry, I've forgotten.
Macduff discovers it. Then he comes running downstairs and shouts,
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke ope the Lord's anointed temple, and stole thence the life of the building.
and on like that. All that stuff was rehearsed. You wouldn't say a lot of stuff like that offhand, would you, if you had found a body?
I don't know.
You're right, you wouldn't. Unless you had practiced it in advance. My God, there's a body in here, is what an innocent man would say.
But what about the third murderer? You know, the third murderer has puzzled Macbeth scholars for 300 years.
That's because they never thought of Macduff. It's Macduff, I'm certain. You couldn't have one of the victims murdered by two ordinary thugs. The murderer always has to be somebody important.
But how do you account for the banquet scene? You know, when Macbeth was acting all weird. And the ghost of Banquo comes and sits in his chair.
Here had we now our country's honours moved, had we the noble presence of our dear Banquo present, he whom I have rather criticised for misconduct than pitied for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please it, your highness, to grace us with your royal company.
But there was no place for me.
Here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Here, my good lord. What is it that moves your highness?
Oh, which of you have done this?
What,
My good lord.
Ah, it is not I that has done it. Never shake thy grisly locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise, his highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you, keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will again be well. If much you note him, you shall offend him and extend his passion. Feed, and regard him not. Are you a man?
Aye, and a bold one that dare look upon that which would appall the devil.
Oh, proper stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts, impostors to true fear, would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorised by her granddam. Shame itself! Why do you make such faces? When all's done, you look but on a stool.
Ha! Look, oh, see, look there, pretty, look! Can you not see? Can you not speak? If you can nod, then speak. Ha! Ha! Look, would they take from our charnel houses and graves and give our bodies back? Oh, then our monuments may be as the moors of kites.
There wasn't any ghost. A big strong man like that doesn't go around seeing ghosts, especially in a brightly lighted banquet hall with dozens of people around. Macbeth was shielding somebody.
Who was he shielding?
Mrs. Macbeth, of course. He thought she did it and he was going to take the rap himself. The husband always does that when the wife is suspected.
What about the sleepwalking scene?
The same thing, only the other way around. That time she was shielding him. She wasn't asleep at all. Do you remember where it says enter Lady Macbeth with a taper?
Yes, yes.
Well, people who walk in their sleep never carry lights. They have a second sight. Did you ever hear of a sleepwalker carrying a light?
No, I never did.
Well then, she wasn't asleep. She was acting guilty to shield Macbeth.
Lo you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life, fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She is light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses shut.
What is it she does now? Look, how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action of her to see thus washing her hands. I have known her continue this a quarter of an hour.
Yet here's a spot.
Hark, she speaks. I will set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Out, dead spot! Out, I say! 1, 2. Why then 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier interfered? What need we fear, who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him?
Do you mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? No more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mar all with the starting.
Go to. You have known what you should not.
She has spoken what she should not. I am sure of that. Heaven knows what she is not.
Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
What a sigh is there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Pray God it be so.
This disease is beyond my practice. Yet I have known those who have walked in their sleep, who have died holily in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on's grave.
Even so.
To bed, there's knocking at the gate. Come, give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed.
I believe you've got hold of something. I've started reading Macbeth again. I never thought of it as a murder intrigue. I stupidly thought it was literature. Fancy that, what a fool I was. I put Shakespeare up on a pedestal, you know. But his real brilliance is as a detective writer. Poetry fiddlesticks, who cares about that?
Aha, you found out something.
I've found out the name of the murderer.
You mean it wasn't Macduff?
Macduff is as innocent of those murders as Macbeth and the Macbeth woman. Listen to the bit where Lady Macbeth says, do you see?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's simple. Wonder I didn't see it years ago. But once you get past the bad grammar, it becomes clear as mud. The reason Duncan resembled Lady Macbeth's father as he slept, it was her father.
Good heavens! Lady Macbeth's father killed the king.
Yes, and hearing somebody coming, thrust the body under the bed, then crawled into the bed himself.
But you can't have a murderer who appears in the story only once. You can't have that.
I know that, but listen to Act 2, Scene 4. It says, enter Ross with old man. Now that old man's never identified, and it's my contention that he was old Mr. Macbeth, whose ambition it was for his daughter to become queen. There, you have your motive.
But he's still a minor character.
Not when you realise he's also one of the weird sisters in disguise.
You mean one of the three witches?
Precisely. Listen to the speech of the old man.
On Tuesday last, a falcon towering in a private place was by a mousing owl hawked at and killed.
Who does that sound like?
It certainly sounds like the way the three witches talk. I mean, none of them speak English properly, but you become different characters after a while.
The old man is old Mr. Macbeth, who's also one of the witches in disguise. There, I've solved it. Do you realise what this means for the study of Shakespeare at universities all over the world?
Well, maybe you're right, but...
I'm sure I am. Do you know what else I've done?
No, what?
Bought a copy of Hamlet. And I think you'll agree I've got some intriguing ideas on this.
So you don't think Hamlet's Uncle Claudius killed his father?
I'm absolutely positive he didn't.
But who do you suspect?
Everybody! But there are some interesting leads that are coming clear.
Do tell. I'm actually getting interested. I never thought you'd be into this aspect of Shakespeare. I thought you were a bit of a doubter, if you don't mind me saying so.
Well, I did poo-poo your ideas a bit there. I didn't say so, but I thought you were right off track. But now I'm starting to get the scent of the villain in my nostrils.
Well done. I am pleased. Now tell me more about Hamlet.
Well, it's going to be a bit controversial when the universities read about this. But tell me, who gains from Hamlet's father's death?
Well, his uncle, of course.
But who else?
Well, Hamlet himself, I suppose. He's the heir to the throne. He would have been king if his uncle hadn't duped him and the court. He was of age. Why wasn't he made king?
Good question.
But that means Hamlet killed his own father. That's extraordinary. Regicide and patricide. That has a nice ring to it. Regicide and patricide.
No, don't get distracted. Hamlet didn't kill his father. He was quite a loving son, rather unambitious. It's quite a hopeless case. mooning about, spouting frilly poetry. He was a sentimental, overeducated, undiagnosed schizophrenic.
Well, I suppose but in those times.
No, they probably would have bled him with leeches. No, he didn't have the character of a murderer, and besides, it's too obvious. Agatha Christie would never have chosen such an obvious murder. Listen to him rattle on in his broken speech.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, no more, and by sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that the flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, to sleep. Perchance to dream, aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause.
Does this sound like a man that plans and carries out a murder? Spouting frilly poetry? No way! Suicidal, depressed, a real wimp. But it could be used.
Aha, now I see what you're getting at. Forsooth, who would use him thus? Alas, poor Hamlet! Sorry, getting carried away.
So knowing that Hamlet would be made king if his father died, who stood to gain the most?
His mother? She might have been getting sick of her husband and wanted her beloved son to be king.
I considered that, but she and Hamlet were rather close, and he was still in mourning for his father, King Hamlet. He wasn't too happy when she married Claudius. Listen to scene 2.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend of Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common. All that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
If it be so, why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam, nay, it is, I know not, seems, 'tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor forced aspiration of windy breath, nor fruitful rivers from the eye, nor dejected behaviour of the visage, together with all forms, shapes, moods of love, that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within which passeth show. These were the trappings and the suits of woe.
Then Ophelia comes to see Hamlet, but she's upset by his strange behaviour, but also by being used by her father Polonius, who's working for Claudius to spy on Hamlet. Claudius believes that Hamlet's plotting to kill him.
Good, my lord. How does your honour for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well,
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
no, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honoured lord, you know right well you did. And with them words of such sweet breath composed as make the things more rich. Their perfume lost, take these again, but to the noble mind rich gifts wax poor when givers prove unkind. There, my lord.
Ha! Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
What means your lordship?
For if you be both honest and fair, then your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than that of honesty?
Aye, truly, for the power of beauty will sooner translate honesty to a board than the force of honesty shall transform beauty into its likeness. This was once a paradox, but now the time gives it proof. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you had me believe so.
You should not have believed me, for virtue cannot so transform our old stock, but we will relish of it. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, yet I could accuse myself of such things that were better than my mother had not borne me. Get thee to a nunnery. Farewell. Or if thou must marry, then marry a fool, for old men can truly tell us that this is the fault of all. Get thee to a nunnery. Farewell.
Heavenly powers restore him. What a noble mind is here overthrown. The soldiers, courtiers, scholars, eye, tongue and sword. The expectancy and the rose of the fair state. The glass of fashion and the mould of form. The observed of all observers, quite down. And I, of ladies most deject and wretched, that such the honey of this music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled out of time and harsh, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me!
So he sees betrayal everywhere, and he knows Ophelia will report back to Polonius. Later on in Acts 3, scene 4, he confronts his mother about her betrayal of his father, King Hamlet.
Look here upon this picture, and on this, a counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace is seated on this brow. Hyperion's curls the front of Jove himself, an eye like Mars to threaten and command. Together with all forms that it seems like the gods would shine upon him, and declare to the world that here is the assurance of a man. This is yours. Look here what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear blasting his wholesome brother. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor?
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turn'st my eyes into my very soul, and there I see such black and graded spots as will not leave their tinct.
Nay, but to live in the rank sweat of an enseamed bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love on a nasty style.
Oh, speak to me no more. These words like daggers enter in my ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain, a slave who is not the 20th part the tithe of your precedent lord, a vice of kings, a cut purse of the empire and the rule. And from a shelf, the precious diadem stole, and put it in his pocket.
No more.
Only been dead a month, and she's with her husband's brother.
But that shows that uncle is the murderer, not the queen. He seduces her and gets the throne. And Hamlet's really angry with her. Turns him into a bit of a misogynist, I'd say.
She did arrange for her husband to be killed. Why did she marry Claudius?
I'm losing faith in the Agatha Christie method. It's not her. It's obvious that Claudius is the murderer.
Now that's how it looks. Shakespeare's too smart for that obvious interpretation. The uncle just took advantage of an opportunity that was given to him. He didn't expect this to happen, and the murderer didn't expect it to happen either. They didn't think that Claudius would move so fast.
So who's the murderer then? I'm lost.
Just slow down a bit. Now remember in the first scene, King Fortinbras is planning on invading Denmark. He thinks that with the king being dead, it would have left the kingdom leaderless. But he's taken aback by the sudden coronation of the new king, the king's brother.
holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death, our state to be disjointed out of frame, colleagued with this dream of his advantage, he hath not failed to pester us with message importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father with all bonds of law to our most valiant brother.
So King Fortinbras killed the king. A simple takeover, and then he's stymied by the uncle marrying the queen.
She did. Yeah, you are getting close. But you're not there yet.
So tell me, who is this damn murderer then? This is taking so long.
Patience, my friend. Slowly catching the monkey. Hamlet kills Polonius, thinking that he's the king. But as punishment, the king then sends him to England with Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, who are meant to kill him when they reach their contacts in England. They're working secretly for Fortinbras, who want them to kill Hamlet and his uncle so he can claim the throne.
Fortinbras has contacts in England?
Yes! In desperation to achieve his goals, he enlists the help of other overseas powers.
But where's the evidence?
Well, everywhere. Now, Hamlet's about to kill Claudius while he's praying, but he doesn't. Why? Acts 3, Scene 3.
Oh, my offences rank expelled to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse upon him, a brother's murder. Pray can I not? Though inclination be as sharp as will, my stronger guilt defeats my strongest intent. And like a man to double business bound, I stand in pause where I shall be first begin, and both neglect what if this cursed hand were thickened in itself with thy brother's blood.
Now, might I do it, Pat? Now here's a praying, and now I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. That would be scandal. A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain sent to heaven.
So you see now?
So Hamlet doesn't kill the king because he thinks he'll go to heaven and he wants him to go to hell.
But who does he talk to while about to kill the king? Now might I do it, Pat? Who's Pat and who does he work for?
Pat? Patrick? An Irishman?
Yes, Paddy, obviously an Irishman. He's off stage directing the whole thing. Fortinbras enlisted the help of the IRA.
They were active back then? Wow!
Well, Fortinbras helped them attack the English way back, all to do with the Butter Mountain.
The Butter Mountain?
Now, all to do with the European Union, too much butter. But that's how he enlisted them to help gain the throne of Denmark.
Goodness, you have done some research.
Everything's on the internet.
And Hamlet says that would be scanned. He would have emailed that to the IRA.
Really? Come on, you're just being silly. Hamlet returns from England, having arranged for Rosencrantz and Guildenstern to be killed.
And then there's a heap of bodies at the end, all very neat and tidy. Everybody dies except Fortinbras.
How does the Queen?
She swoons to see the blood.
No, no, the drink, the drink. Oh my dear Hamlet, the drink, I am poisoned.
Villain! Let the doors be locked! Treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. And thee there's not more than 30 minutes life. Treacherous This instrument is in thy hand, and baited and envenomed. Thy queen is poisoned. The king's to blame!
The point envenomed too. Envenomed to thy right!
Treason!
Bloody, help me, my friends, I am but injured.
Here, thou damned incestuous murder thing! Drink of this potion! Is thy union here? Follow my mother!
He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself.
I'm dead, Horatio. Wretched queen, farewell. You to look pale and tremble at this chance of a mute an audience to this act. Had I but time, as this fell Sergeant Death is strict in his arrest, I could tell you, but let it be. Horatio, I'm dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more antique Roman than a Dane. Here's get some liquor left.
And the whole of that, give it all. By heaven, I'll have it. What a worded name, Horatio. God, things left unsaid shall I leave behind. If thou didst ever hold me in thy house, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story.
Now, cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. So do you see how neat it all is? Hamlet kills Claudius, saving Fortinbras having to do it. His mother dies through poisoned wine, favourite trick of the IRA. Claudius dies from a sword, poisoned by Hamlet. It was actually Hamlet that died, poisoned from a sword, earlier by Claudius. Fortin arrives, all his rivals are dead, just in time to take over the kingdom.
Pure genius. So it was Fortinbras and the IRA. Proof beyond doubt. It probably led to the potato famine.
Careful there, you don't want to start wild conspiracy theories.
What's next? Othello? The Merchant of Venice?
No, I'm a bit bored with Shakespeare. I thought I'd look into the bipolar Jewish robots taking over Hollywood.
I could help. I know quite a bit about bipolar bears.